Yeah.
My roll 20 is just loading.
Roll 20 is just loading. That's cool. So I'm just going to have to rely on you guys to remember who you'd spoken to, what had been said, and what you were planning on doing. So,
I did write down a lot of notes, so I'm good.
So you've had a sleep, you've had your long rest overnight, and you're in the pub, which is called the Stonehill Tavern.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the Stonehill. You're in the Stonehill Inn. You've had a sort of decent night's sleep, and you've got up in the morning to go down for breakfast. So probably are we all in? I'm in. Ash, Shadow. We're just waiting for Freya to log into Roll20. Yep.
I'm already in.
Oh yes, it's just your little tags down at the bottom for some reason. Yeah. Let's put you up there. Oh, whatever. That's fine. You're all in. Fine. So you all we may as well start today that you all meet downstairs for breakfast at the pardon me, after a good night's sleep in the Stonehill Inn. And it'll give you time to kind of talk over what you've maybe mulled over the night before. So you go downstairs, and the barkeeper, Toblerone?
That's the one.
Not Toblerone.
Definitely Toblerone.
Toblerone?
Yeah.
Absolutely Toblerone.
Absolutely. Toblin's there. Trelena, his wife, is in the corner as per usual. She's sat and she's looking after the little boy who's running around the tables. There aren't many patrons in. You get a feeling that this is probably more of a sort of a place to come after work. It's not necessarily the kind of place that you would come for breakfast. Most people probably eat at home and then go off to work. And it's a bit of because it's a trading post, this is much more for your sort of wayfarers and your adventurers. So there's a couple of people in, but they're having some kind of weak ale and their sort of normal breakfast. And Toblerone comes up to you and sort of goes, morning. Said, did you sleep well?
I have the worst hangover. Don't even look at me. This is horrible.
He looks at you.
Yeah,
and
you sound like having a terrible hangover.
You do sound like you've got a dreadful hangover, actually.
I'm good at it. I've had a lot of them.
That's real role playing.
Freya,
why do I keep... Also, it was Ash that put the ridiculous Discord photo on.
I love it.
It's Ash's fault.
Really
Jump in
great.
a wig.
It's
not an improvement over a rat. It's a vast...
I like it.
The opposite of improvement.
You should have seen the wallpaper.
But
it was majestic.
can't be bothered changing it.
He looks at Calla sort of sympathetically, and he sort of nods and he goes, I'll bring you some extra bread to soak up last night's alcohol. And he's sort of talking quite quietly. Sort of get the feeling that he's sort of quite a kindly man.
You're a good man, Toblerone. You're a good man.
I'm still frozen on your end.
Are, but you will. I'm sure you will come back out. You're just a kind of a standing face at the moment, but we can hear you, so we're not going to worry at the moment. We're just going to carry on as we can. Otherwise, we'll only get like an hour of play.
Okay.
So try and unfreeze it as you can, but we'll kind of try and kind of move on with
soldier on.
Yeah, as best as we can, because otherwise it's just going to we're just going to be that we may as well not bother. So you can be in charge of writing notes, Freya. So he looks at you all and he goes bread, meats, ale, hair of the dog.
all of the above except the ale. Just get me water. That's all I need. Or coffee. Do we have coffee?
What is this? What is coffee?
It's something elvish. Don't worry about it.
That's okay. Sounds fancy.
Yeah,
Sounds
all
fancy.
these coffees.
We have ale. We have milk. We have water. Ale.
Water.
Water.
Just take the water.
Water for everyone.
Water.
And so
Please.
He wanders off to go and get you your breakfasts, and so you've all got a little bit of free time. There's nobody in earshot as well. Everyone's you've managed to get yourself a table that's quite far away from everyone else. It's quite private at this point.
Okay, so Kala, Rowan, and Freya.
Yo.
I have your guys' money from Silda. He gave it to me last night, but y'all were kind of inebriated, so I decided to give it to you this morning.
Oh, sorry about that.
Probably a good decision.
It's 10 apiece.
10 gold.
Yes, 10 gold pieces.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. So, I guess the discussion of the deal with Miss Thornton to take out the red brand.
Red brands, which is really bad because I find my R's really hard to pronounce. So red brand ruffians is great.
The red brand ruffian.
Didn't we
Show
say
off.
we'd make a deal with Harlia?
Yeah, I
Yeah, we
believe
were
so.
gonna go talk to her in the morning, which is now morning,
Well,
Okay.
about more details and about how much we'd get paid
like
and stuff like that.
we had like the temple to visit that we didn't visit yet last day, so yesterday. And we should go to ask for the job details. Well, personally, I would like to take care of those ruffians, because I don't really like people like that gang terrorizing the town.
Wasn't there a woman who saw a murder that the Red Brands did that we needed to talk to?
It was Trelana, which is Toblin's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you talk to her, Ash?
No, I think finding a right moment when a kid isn't around would be quite difficult.
I'll be honest, I remember ale, and then merriment, and then a surprisingly uncomfortable bed.
I just remember
Same.
Brenda Lee.
But you had a blanket, though.
Yeah, Brenda Lee's was lovely.
And talking about Brenda Lease, at that exact moment, as you're talking, Brenda Lease comes bustling up to you with plates, and she's got plates down one arm, not all, but all with breads and meats and things that you're all going to be able to share, and she's got a pitcher in the other hand because you've already got tankards on the table, and she comes over and she goes, "Good morning! How are you doing today?"
I avert my eyes out of
Quiet.
embarrassment.
Ooh, feeling the effects of a little bit too much fun last night, are we?
I raised my eyebrows at Iona, like,
I avert eye contact with everyone.
She's sort of bustling around. She's kind of banging plates down, and every single time you can see Calla and Rowan kind of going like wincing every time she puts something on the table. She's sloshing water in the mugs, and she goes, "Oh, so where's your rather handsome friend this morning?"
I'm here.
and she kind of she sort of looks at you and she raises an eyebrow and she goes, "No, you're handsome, friend."
I'm just kind of going.
The old
Zelda?
one, the one who yeah, him. Ooh, he goes good muscles. Yeah, where is he?
There you're into the older type.
Where's he this morning?
Has he not come down yet?
You seemed quite friendly last night. I was wondering if there was some kind of a party going on with you guys. And you can tell that she is an absolute gossip queen. She's just like, tell me stuff. So yeah, where is he?
Should be coming down and joining us shortly. He had a room, didn't he?
You hear Toblin's kind of listening in, and he goes, "Brendalis, leave them be. And he goes, "Your friend's already gone. Your friend's already had breakfast. He's already gone where he needed to go this morning."
That's early.
No, it's not that.
Get him
And
to
he
get some more
kind
sleep.
of he looks out of the window, and he goes, "It's not that early. You have slept. You have slept the sleep of the hungover people, and everyone else has been waiting for you." So you've got some. So she's there, and she kind of go, and she goes, "Oh well, that's a shame. He seemed like he could have enjoyed a little bit of fun as well." And she's kind of lowered her voice slightly, so Toblin doesn't necessarily hear. And she goes,
I avert my face harder.
She goes, "Put in a good word for me next time you see him." And Toblin goes, "Brendalis, there's things to be doing." And she goes, "Honestly," and she kind of like bustles, and she totters off behind the bar.
What a bizarre creature.
Just because she didn't think you were handsome.
Clearly, she's had more to drink than me.
She's all a woman.
So what's our next step? Are we going to the lovely lady at the Miners' Exchange? Or are we going to catch up with our old friend? Because he went to his employers, didn't he? He said he'd meet us there.
Well,
He went to the town. He was going to the town masters.
Oh yeah, to the useless
Maybe-
townmaster.
We
We
could
could
check
get
out the
two birds with
temple.
one stone. Chat with the town master and catch up with Muscly von Handsome Face.
I'm right here.
I think we should talk to Halia first, because we did tell her we'd talk to her in the morning,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit past morning now.
what was it
Already
that we
kinda late.
exactly said to her? Because I remember that we just said that we'd talked to her this morning because she wanted to get rid of the red brands, but then we were like, "Oh, we don't know much about them." And then was there going to be a deal where she'd give us some money? I don't remember.
We were going to talk to her about more information about the red brand, and also about payment.
It was definitely a paid job. She has a lot to gain from the red brand being pushed
Yeah.
down.
Okay, so should we talk to her first, then go visit the mayor?
Sounds like a good call.
Okay.
Don't forget as well that I know this is in a sort of non-DM thing that you've also somebody wants to visit a temple. Just don't. Yeah. So
We will do that today as well.
After the mayor.
I mean, I'm going to pop out and in of the Discord because I am frame rate bad.
yeah, you.
Well, I mean, not to upset any emotionally unstable bards, but Miss Thornton did seem to prefer the company of myself and Keller to other members of our party. So maybe half of us could go to the temple while the other two go and meet good company.
I'm sorry, but
Okay.
she never talked to me. It wasn't a dislike of
Well,
me.
I'm sure she'll find you delightful, Ash. It's just finding the...
Yeah, you could come with us, Ash, if you didn't want to go to the temple.
I just thought temple would be your sort of thing.
Not
We
quite.
can go. One...
Making racial assumptions there.
It's not racial. It's
Now
a
all
class.
druids, Ash.
Druids.
Hashtag not all druids.
Oh dear. Right. So, you're sort of finishing off your breakfast. Brenda Leese kind of keeps on kind of wandering past you and kind of slowing down as she kind of walks past and kind of trying to maybe overhear things that you are saying. But if one of you could please roll a perception check for me.
I'll do that.
Ranger.
With my critical roll dice, by the way.
Hey, critical roll dice, get in. It better be a nat 20.
It was an 8, but hang on, +5, so that's 13.
13. That's fine. That's
She
She's
hears
on the level.
everything because she's hungover.
Yes, that's true.
amazingly, even with a hangover, Calla does kind of have some kind of perception of what's going on around her, and every time Brenda Leese gets quite close and slows down, she kind of puts a hand up, and you guys all just stop for a moment, and you see Brenda Lee sort of looking, like, kind of slowing down and looking over, and then looking really disappointed, and then carrying on to do what she does. And you can all sort of sigh and carry on talking about what you're going to do. Just don't want the nosy, gossipy woman to overhear you.
Me neither.
So, you finished up, and you need to decide what you want to do.
So are we splitting up, or?
Split
Are we
the
really
party.
gonna split the party?
I think we should split the party. I want to see what happens.
Party. So,
Okay.
Team Rowan Awesome Man Force is me, Calla, Ash, are you game? Oh,
Yeah.
my head. Awesome. And Nerdy Book Reader Noisy Bar Team. Temple. Oh.
What happened?
I feel like I maybe should. Yeah, I should stick with y'all because somebody's got to babysit the hungover kids.
That's a good decision.
Hungover babies
I'm not
are an
hungover.
issue.
I'm just heartbroken.
So you've got, so you're going to divide the party. You are going to Rowan, Calla, and Ash. Where are you going to go?
Mine is
To-
exchange, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Iona and Aramil, you're going to go to the temple?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Fine.
She seems so excited.
I know.
And glare 1d4 of daggers at Rowan.
And then hold on. Right. So the what we're going to look at first is we're going to look at mine. We're going to go follow Rowan, Calla, and Ash towards the miners' exchange
Wait,
first.
before they go, we should like set a common place to meet after.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
We'll meet
Shall we
at
meet
the,
at the hall?
the town hall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When are we meeting at the town hall? 2 hours? Is that too long?
How long do you think you're gonna need to check out the temple, Aramel?
Oh, not much. It's just trying to get information. Like we have been asking everywhere, but sometimes people go to temples and tell things, you know. So maybe
So-
we could get some more information about the mines or the Red Gang.
Yeah.
An hour? 2?
Yeah, not. I don't think it will be longer.
An hour?
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah, an hour. Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. Engage travel montage.
Good luck, guys.
Okay. Right. So, Rowan and Calla, you step outside and the sunlight hurts you're slightly hungover heads. If you could both please roll a Constitution check for me.
Oh, God.
No. Oh, the Discord's gone bad because Freya keeps on dropping out.
A Constitution check or a saving
I
throw?
know. What it does though, every time you do that, it means that the recording all disappears.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Yeah. So can we have a Constitution check, please, from both Rowan and Calla?
Check or saving for Elise.
I want a Constitution check.
Check. Okay.
Yeah. You're not saving against anything. It's already been done.
Okay. That is a 15 for me.
I got a 10.
Okay.
Ooh.
Rowan, your hardy constitution has kind of means that you're kind of going to stay okay for now. Calla, you certainly until the sort of the hangover dissipates a little bit, you're going to be rolling at disadvantage, I'm afraid. Because of your because of your absolutely abysmal hangover.
Happens all too often.
So you head to the and then obviously Ash, you're absolutely fine, no problems at all. So kind of you'd sort of lead your way and go back to the miners' exchange to speak to Halia. What would you do? Go on. Who would like to
Is the
lead?
door
What would you
open?
like to-
Do we need
Yes.
to knock on the door?
Yeah, it's all been open for a while.
Okay, so we walk in and
I nudged Rowan to talk because she seemed to like him last time, so go on.
Most people.
She as you walk in, you walk through the main sort of part of the miners' exchange. Obviously same as yesterday. It's just a sort of big empty room where people kind of queue up and to a kind of counter at the front, and there's the room in the back where you had a look at the weaponry. Halia is there's nobody else. Actually, there's nobody in at this point. You kind of get the feeling that everyone's probably at work, and she's bent over her ledger. Exactly the same as she was yesterday. She's sort of bent over the ledger and she's writing. And sat on the desk next to her is this little jade frog. And she's obviously sort of put it in pride of place in the next sort of where she can see it. She looks.
Hang on.
wait.
Wasn't that the armourer who had the jade frog? Linen?
At the blue lion.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
was it? Oh, right. Well,
Yeah.
obviously I'm
With the armory in the back?
Okay,
Yeah,
shipping
okay. I was
is
confused. I was
We
so
haven't
confused.
heard
started
anything.
shipping them both. It was a gift.
I'm
done now.
I'm desperately
Right,
tired,
Comet, it's fine.
so we'll just
It's fine.
go back. Anyway,
Amphibious Maximus, you cheating whore!
absolutely. He's there. He's obviously snuck in for a little bit of a housey father with Halia.
It's just going to be this trope in the back of every scene now.
Oh god,
It's a totally different jade
this
frog.
little,
He's the main villain.
There at the temple, there's this little jade frog. It's actually like got a little like kind of camera in it, and it's watching you. So Halia looks up and she goes, "Oh, Mr. Mannings." She goes, "How are you this morning?"
I'm very well,
I'm glad
Halia.
to see you return.
And it's Rowan for you.
And it's Halia for you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my god.
Have you considered my proposal anymore? You said
Yes,
you said you were going to come back and talk to me more this morning.
yes, we spent the entire night discussing it, strategizing over possible methods to deal with the ban.
Very, very serious.
Yeah.
And,
Rowan, can you please roll a deception check?
Can he do it with advantage? Because I helped him.
Did you help him?
I said that we were being very serious.
Oh. Yeah, but you're rolling at disadvantage, so.
We're
20 for me.
Wow.
helping with disadvantage.
She looks at you and she goes, "It's good to finally meet some people who take this kind of thing seriously.
I know. Getting the help nowadays is terrible.
She looks over at Ash as well, and she sort of and Calla, and she nods at you both. I think she's quite. She get the feeling that she likes to see a sort of strong woman as well, and you two look like you kind of like you could hold your own. So she goes, well, is there any more information you would like? You know what you need. You know what I'm asking, don't you?
Yes, you want them wiped entirely from the area, as I believe.
Yes, they aren't just in the town, though. How much do you know about them?
We don't know much.
And
We've heard very low-spoken rumors of very afraid people, and we want to help.
We need to know things like who the leader is, and where they might be. Yeah.
Yeah. She looks at you and she sort of nods and she says, I understand it's why I've not been able to find anybody to deal with this problem before. They have been terrorizing the members of the town, and we're only a small trading post now. We don't get that many people through anymore. So I'm glad that you're here and that you've taken my request so seriously. There are a few of the more ruffians who stay around the Sleeping Giant tap house. Have you heard that, and do you know where it is?
Yes, we were kindly directed to its location by
very disreputable joint it is, but there's a few of them who base their operations there, and they drink and they whore, but then they go out and terrorize the town and then go back, and everyone's too afraid to do anything. But it's not them that we really need to worry about. They are but the tail, and we need to cut the head off the snake. And she looks over at Calla and she says, they call him Glassstaff. I haven't heard very much. I don't know if they don't know much about
Ash is giggling.
their leader, the person who's in charge of them, but when they talk about their orders, they have spoken about somebody called Glassstaff, and they, when I've followed them, they seem to head up towards the Tresenda Manor, which is very, very odd because the manor has been ruined for as long as I can remember. But they go up there and they're gone for some time, and then they come back and they terrorize the town again.
Tresenda Manor, did you say?
Tresenda Manor, yes, the manor house, and she's sort of looking towards the sort of the front of the
Shop?
Like loot, yes.
Shop?
She's looking towards the front of the exchange. She sort of points, and she points up the hill, and sort of past the direction of the tap house that she pointed out before, and up at the top, just up this slope at the top of the hill, you can see this what looks like it would have been quite a rich manor house, a really sort of beautiful. It would have been absolutely stunning at one point, but there's ivy and moss growing up all the stones. Half of the roof has collapsed in. It looks like it's been deserted. It might have had some fire damage even at some point, and looks very sort of lonely and quite sort of desolate up there. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like a well-trodden road, and it doesn't look like a very friendly place when you sort of look up the hill. But she says that's where they've been going to, and she sort of puts down her quill, and she kind of puts her arms on the desk, and she sort of looks at you like that, and she says,
I also put an elbow on the desk.
and she's sort of nose to nose with you, and she goes, cut the head off the snake, bring me any information that you can find, any letters, correspondence, anything that might indicate if there's anyone else involved within what's been going on in our town. I've heard rumours of the opening of them trying to find the old mine, the Wave Echo Cave. I've heard rumours. I don't know any more than that, but it seems to me that a band of ruffians could not organise themselves in the way that it has that we see the organisation within the town. I will pay you handsomely for this. It's not necessarily going to be a simple job. And she looks at you and she goes, I'll pay you 100 gold pieces for doing this.
Each?
No. 100 gold pieces.
Is there any...
250.
100 gold pieces.
This is a very dangerous mission. We might die.
Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Oh god damn it.
You're just slurring. The woman is like, she keeps on like backing off just because of the wave of like alcohol fumes that keep hitting her.
I did not mean to get a reputation as a drinker.
We may die.
Natural one, but I'm rolling with disadvantage.
Oh my
You
god!
can't get worse than a natural one.
Natural one, but then my charisma's -1, so I got a 0.
Zero.
I feel like you just lost us income.
Oh my god.
She looks at you, and she goes, I would certainly suggest that when you come to somebody offering your services for adventuring, you do not come still smelling like a brewery and then lie to my face. And she looks at Rowan and she looks at Calla and she says, 100 gold pieces.
100 gold sounds like a fair offering, thank you.
Says I can rely on at least two of you to fulfill this request. And she looks at she looks at Rowan and she goes, I know that you will. Then she looks at Calla and she says, are you willing to do what must be done?
Of course we are.
And then she looks at Ash and she says, and you?
Yes.
She says, then we have an agreement. Come back to me when you have found Glassstaff and you have rid the town of the ruffians that are currently in control. Do not forget to bring me evidence of the demise. If you want payments, I will expect some form of evidence. Correspondence would be fine.
But of course, what gentleman would I be if I didn't bring a wonderful lady back a gift from an adventure?
And she looks at you, and she smiles, and she sort of leans out her hand, and Ash, I would like you to do an insight check, please.
Look at me, professional D&D player. Don't even have my dice out. Here we go. Inside. Oh shit. So it's 21.
Whoa.
she is playing Rowan like a guitar. She is playing him, and he is absolutely falling for her womanly charms. She sort of leans forward, and she sort of, you can tell she's kind of doing this a little bit, but kind of a little bit more subtly than that, and she's kind of like kind of playing with her fingers. She's kind of looking into his eyes, and she sort of goes, "I will look forward to seeing you again, Rowan." And Rowan's like,
Rowan's become PP Le Pew.
So Ash, you can do with that information what you will, but that is what you can read into the situation. At the same time,
Now,
sorry, go on.
Miss Thornton,
Yes.
how soon are you wanting this done by? Because we all know a rush job is no better than any no job.
And she looks and she raises an eyebrow, and she goes. She says, "You are definitely taking this seriously." And she sort of looks around. She goes, "I would say 3 days. Come back to me in 3 days and let me know. It's not like you have to travel far. Come back to me in 3 days and let me know at least whether it's going to take longer or not. You should at least have an idea, or have done what needs to be done within 3 days." Does that sound good to you?
We also have other matters to attend to, as we have missing friends that we need to find. Gundren's brothers. They have been gone for 11 days now and have not returned, as far as we know. They were supposed to be back within the last few days to pick up more supplies, and
She holds a hand up,
Thornton.
and she goes, "I am sure that you do have other things to do, but I am also sure that you have not necessarily been offered 100 gold pieces to do a job for somebody. If you take work, I expect it to be done."
And it will be done.
She is used to getting her own way.
It will be done. It just depends in the time frame. As with more people, we could do a better job at getting rid of all of the ruffians instead of just the head.
I think that 3 days is a perfectly acceptable request, if not more than acceptable for what I am offering. You do not know whether our interests align. There are things that are happening within this town and within this area, and I do not know exactly what, but the ruffians arrived possibly at the same time as your friends disappeared, if you said that they have been gone for that long. These ruffians have only been here for a week and a half, but they've done enough damage to the town since they have arrived.
What do you guys think? 3 days? Or 3 days?
I think we can make.
I think we can get it done in 3 days.
Alright.
And she sort of leans back slightly, kind of away from the sort of the desk that she's been working on, and she takes you all in, and she nods, and she goes, "I will see you in 3 sunups." And then she goes back to her ledger and starts writing in it, and you have been dismissed. At the same time that this is going on, Iona and Aramil have gone to the shrine. So I'm just going to find my pieces of paper. Okay, so Aramil and Iona, you've gone to the shrine. It's a small but very neatly cared for building just off the main centre of the town. And you walk inside and you kind of look around as you walk inside, and it looks very much like it's been created out of stones that have maybe been taken from older buildings elsewhere. It's been sort of built up from the sort of local ruins, sort of old stones and so on, but it's still sort of very neat. And as you walk in, there's lots of candles, and there's a sort of a smell of burning. There's a fragrance that you can't quite place, but it's quite comforting. And as you walk forward, you see a woman in front of you, and she's standing in front of a shrine. If Aramil, if you could do a religion check for me, please.
It's 15.
Okay. You know from the sight of the shrine in front of you that this is a temple dedicated to the goddess Tamora, who is the goddess of luck and good fortune. And there's nobody else in the temple. There is just this one woman at the front who is sort of dressed in robes and looks like she's sort of, lighting candles, moving things around a little bit.
Okay, we approach her.
Okay.
And we salute her. What time is it, more or less?
It's probably about 11 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so we.
It's not quite sort of midday.
Yeah. Oh, no, just to know the greetings way.
Yeah, that's
More or
fine.
We get to her and
Sorry.
we just, in a respectful manner, I salute, like, good morning, sister.
No, and she turns around, and you see her for the first time. She's quite young. She's elvish, and she's kind of, as she moves, she sort of limps slightly, and all down one side of her face is kind of cut and bruised, and she's got bags under her eyes.
Can I do a check to see if what might have caused it, if she was beaten up or if it was some sort of freak accident when she was a child or something? I don't like to judge. I don't want to be like, what's happened to your face?
These are fresh. These are fresh bruises, but you can do a medicine check, Freya.
Yes. Can I do a medicine check?
You can do a medicine check.
My medicine's +1. 8, 9.
Okay. She looks like she's been injured. Somehow. It's
She does indeed.
So yeah, she turns around and she sort of nods to you and she goes, "Good morning, travellers. Can I help you? What are you? What would you? Can the Shrine of Tamora help you on your way?"
I say to her, sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, please.
I say, that looks painful. I know a couple of healing spells. Is there anything I can do to help?
And she sighs and she looks at you and she puts out her hand and she goes, "Sister Garel, my name is Sister Garel.
I shake her hand.
Please, I am in, and she's very shaky, and she looks close to tears, and she goes, I would, the pain, I would be glad of some help.
I'd like to cast Healing Word on her, if that's all right.
That's absolutely fine.
1d4 plus 3, so that's not a d4. This is a d4. That's a d4 on the floor. Let's try with this one. 3 plus 3, 6.
And as you cast Healing Word, you can see the sort of light almost sort of glows through her, and some of the bruises on her cheeks just start to fade into the background. Some of the cuts start to heal up, and she just takes a big sigh, and she goes, I thank Tamora that you came. Said, my luck and good fortune that you have stumbled into our small shrine. And she sits down on one of the pews, and she goes, sit.
I sit.
We sit.
I hope.
Attempt to sit.
Do we have to roll something to see if we fall upon sitting?
I think you're okay.
No, I've got a sitting
No,
proficiency.
that will be
We're
wrong on
fine.
the Kala, probably.
The bench is a mimic. You're dead.
We
That's
roll
not very
natural
lucky.
one, we fall from the bench and break our neck. We're
and
dead.
die and come back as ghosts. Great. And I rip up all of my notes and I completely change my plan. Okay. So she sits down, and she puts her hand on your hand, Iona, and she puts her other hand on your hand, Aramil, and she goes, do you believe in fate?
Well, I say I believe in knowledge.
Believe in knowledge.
Oh, 1 minute. Is she pretty? Because
Well-
I've got to role play this. If she's not pretty, then I'll be like, but if she is, because my character is a sucker for a pretty face.
Yeah,
so
she is absolutely. Yeah, she is. She's a pretty young elf.
okay, I say, I do believe in fate. Hey, shut up! I say to no one.
But is she fit though?
Hey,
I
it's
am
no worse
role-playing
than
this.
you with Halia, man.
Yeah. Stop.
That's true.
Hashtag me too. Right. She looks slightly uncomfortably to you, Iona, and then
I
she,
didn't do it that obviously.
a little bit,
Fine.
and she turns to Aramil and she goes, I respect somebody who believes in knowledge. I, however, believe that it was fate that brought you to me today. But knowledge is something that I can share. Might you be willing to help us?
Yes.
How
Kind
could
of thing we
help?
do.
And she sighs and she says, my superiors here at the temple asked me to go on a mission recently. They wanted me to talk to Agatha about a spell book that they want for some reason. I can only assume that it is to help in telling people about the glory of Tamora. I went to find Agatha, but I did not find her. However, I was found on the way through by some men wearing red cloaks scarlet cloaks, that's all I remember. And I woke up and she sort of, she moves her, she takes a hand from yours, Ione, and she kind of puts her hand up to her face, which is massively healed from what it was. And she goes, I woke up like this, and so I came back hoping that my superiors would understand, and that maybe some tomorrow would bring some luck and good fortune. And she smiles, and you can see the kind of like zealous belief in her eyes, and she goes, and she listened to my prayers. She brought you. And she looks between the two of you.
I asked. Sorry, go on. I'm talking too much.
No, go on, Ione.
I ask. Did they tell you anything else about this book? And where did they ask you to go to find it? One priestess on her own is no match for the. I mean, we've come across goblins out in the wilderness.
And
Ash.
There's an echo.
Echo.
Is there? Ash, stop pressing the button. I mean, Rowan.
It's okay. I think it's okay now.
Rowan is far away. Why
Rowan's
are we
like,
having echo?
I just hear an echo of no problem.
You're shouting too much, Iona.
Like, this hangover's really bad. I can hear Iona in my ear. Like, what is going on? Sister Garel looks at you both, and she sort of, and she nods and she says, I don't know much. She sort of shrugs and she looks around and she says, I'm but a simple acolyte. I do as I'm told, as I know that it is for the grace of Timora.
Can I do an insight check?
You can indeed.
So I rolled a natural 1, and my insight is 2. So 3.
She seems on the level. She's and she says, all I know is what I've heard, the whispers that I've heard when I've been waiting to speak to my superiors. Apparently there was a mage called Bowgentle, a mage called Bowgentle, and she had a spell book, and the superiors would like to find it for, I don't know why, but it must only be for good reasons. And Agatha, I tried to find Agatha. She has a lair not far from the ruins of Coneyberry. She sort of shivers slightly, and she goes, she's a banshee. But apparently, and I have only heard whispers. She apparently is somewhat vain, a somewhat vain woman, and we were hoping that she would trade the book or information about where the spell book is for this. And she reaches into a pocket of these kind of long sort of acolyte robes that she's wearing, and she brings out this very, very beautiful silver comb, and this like hair comb, and it's got pearls on it, and it's really, really very beautiful. And she goes, I was given this, and I kept it hidden on me. I kept it hidden here. And she sort of laughs, and she goes, in one of my shoes. I'm
glad you expanded on that.
I don't even know what's no way your mind was going.
You know exactly.
She goes, I hid it in one of my shoes. I heard stories of bandits. I just never thought that I would meet some. But she kind of giggles, and she goes, but they didn't find it. They didn't check inside my foot wraps, and so I still have the comb, and this is what we need to give to her, but I'm scared to go back. She didn't appear for me when I went.
Right, so you went to... Sorry.
And then when I came back, I was set upon.
So you went to visit Bowgentle the mage for her spellbook, yes?
No. We don't know. Bowgentle has been dead for many years. No, I went to see Agatha to find out
I see.
find out if she knows where Bowgentle's spellbook is. That's what I was told to do, and that's what I tried to do. But she said she did not appear. In some ways, I'm glad that she did not appear. She, I don't know if I would want to see a banshee.
Okay. So...
Can I make a check to, like, I don't really actually know much about creatures or races what a banshee or how banshees are.
You'll probably know more about banshees than me.
Absolutely.
Like,
do a history check to see if you've kind of read anything about banshees in your sort of studies.
okay. Oh, I don't think so. It's 10.
You only
Banshees
know
seem on the level.
You only know the most basic information, the kind of information that you would be told from sort of fairy tales and that kind of thing about these almost ghostly creatures that live in dark wooded areas that are horrifying to look at. They can look normal, and then they can change their face and to almost try to scare you to death. But they are cunning and knowledgeable, and you know that about them, but you don't know sort of any details about anything else. I'm just going to turn the light on. It's getting very dark in here. Oh. Hey, there we go.
Okay, where were you supposed to find the banshee?
Coneyberry, I think. Near Coneyberry.
And she goes, Coneyberry.
Oh yeah, okay.
Coneyberry, yes, it's
okay. I forgot I have noted. Sorry.
It was abandoned many years ago, but that's the lair. The lair is near there.
I ask, so she didn't appear for you? Can she choose who to appear to, or is it possible that she's left?
She smiles and says, I do not think I was worthy.
Oh.
And she looks quite sad, and she goes, she picks her head up slightly, and she goes, if you would do this, if you would take this comb, if you would try and find out from her, if you could go and she would appear to you, and you would ask her where this spell book lies, and you come back and you tell me, she looks around and she goes, I don't have much to offer you. I could give you 3 healing potions. That's all I have. We give up all of our worldly goods when we enter the temple. But I do have healing potions. I would not have wanted to use one on myself. So, and she looks at Ione and says, "So I thank you. I thank you for helping me."
I ask, so the ruffians in crimson robes, where was it that they set upon you? Was it close to Coneyberry, or was it on the way back? Do you think you were followed?
it seemed to be. It was on the way back. It was just as I was walking back down the Tribor Trail from Coneyberry. I should have had somebody with me, but I didn't think. I've been out of the world for some time. We're quite protected here, but all I remember is the red cloaks.
How many were there? Do you know? Or
No, I'm afraid I do not know. They knocked me down before I.
did they take anything?
There was nothing for them to take. All I had on me was the comb in my foot wraps, and they'd never found that. They just.
I wonder why
they knocked me down. I think I must have hit my head when I fell, which is why I was bruised and cut, and everything went dark, and then I woke up.
Sorry, I'm just watching what Ash is doing on his what's it, and you're all in for a treat. Just say.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Sorry, go on.
It's great. I say we will see what we can do. I don't know how long it will take us, but I will definitely do my best to try to get to the source of what happened and try to help.
And she nods and she looks at both of you and she says, I would not have been able to go, and I would have had to take the comb back to my superiors, and I don't know what they would have said. So I am grateful for your help. I am grateful for any help that you give, and I will wait until you come back, and the blessing of Tamora be on you both for luck and fortune on your journey. And
Does that mean I get advantage?
And she gives you a blessing. You each have one advantage roll that you can use at any point.
Ooh, I like blessings.
Wish I went to the temple now.
I tell her we have friends who are travelling with us. We will converse with them and then maybe come back, and we understand if you don't want to give us the comb because it's quite valuable and we could be anyone.
She looks at you. She looks at you both, and she looks at Aramil especially, and she looks into his eyes, and Aramil looks back, and she smiles and she nods and she goes, I recognise the eyes of a trustworthy person. And she holds out the comb. She gives it to Aramil. Aramil, if you'd like to put that down, please. That you now have.
I healed her.
That you now have a silver comb in your possession that she would like you to give to Agatha.
I mope a little bit.
And she sort of she turns to you, Iona, and she goes, you are a good person as well.
I go, oh, okay.
and she goes, I must get on now. I must not neglect my duties any longer. She says, and she goes, the blessing of Tamora go with you. And she walks to the front, and she sort of closes her eyes, and she sort of starts praying at the shrine in front of her.
Cool. I say to Aramil, we should probably meet up with the others. The fact that the Red Ruffians have been at it again should probably pass that on to them.
Seems those Red Gang have crossed again in our
busy.
way. So
Busy people.
So
yeah.
It is about midday.
We go. Yeah, we go.
Midday now.
So
It's
we should
it's
meet
been
them.
a bit longer than it's been a bit longer than an hour. It's I think in the the miners' exchange, your exchange was probably about an hour. In the shrine, it was probably about an hour and a half. So Rowan, Calla, and Ash have probably been waiting for about half an hour. Calla, if you could do another Constitution roll for me, please.
Just as a side note, Calla has decided she's never drinking again.
Good plan. She
But the
doesn't
bonding.
you don't have to roll disadvantage on it. I just want you to do a straight check.
I lost my D20. Hang on.
Are you okay?
I cannot wait.
Okay.
I bought the God of War loot crate, and I'm gonna get a
That
set of
sounds
D&D dice from
Oh,
that, so it's gonna be
Ooh.
great.
that is going to
Nice.
be great. And I have. Would you like your dice bag to be a surprise? Would you like to see it?
I want to see it.
I just need to I'll just tuck that in because I haven't finished it off yet.
Ah, it's so pretty.
It's a sparkly blue because you've decided to take because of your circle. I decided to do like a nighttime one for you. So it's
Oh,
sparkly.
that's
I
gorgeous.
I love it.
So
I love it.
To be your new dice bag. As your moving gear, as your
My only dice
yeah,
bag.
as your congratulations for moving to Texas and moving into your apartment. Present.
You did an adult.
Woohoo!
Yay!
I'd like to divert our attention to the picture that Ash has just put on the Discord chat. Very briefly.
What?
Okay, so you guys meet. I'll take a look, but you guys meet up.
Okay. We walk into town
It
masters.
was a town hall.
Town masters, yeah. I say, guys, we got blessed.
Well,
have you
I-
rolled your Constitution check?
It's a 3 minus 1, which is a 2.
Yeah, the
Also,
She's even worse than
the
before.
the booze
She's
is
dying
not
slowly.
the booze is not leaving your system as
It's a good thing I should
as
have
long
3
as
days
you
to do the job.
as quickly as you had hoped that it would. At this point, you are still rolling at disadvantage for all checks because you are
Please.
feeling crappy.
you must put that picture up in the actual YouTube video that he just put in the chat.
I will do. I will definitely put it in. It's brilliant.
Right now.
Brilliant.
It's the eyebrows.
Well, Iona, you may have got blessed, but I got charmed.
He got very charmed.
Here's the lowdown. I'm never drinking again.
The
This
bonding.
Hilda said that she wanted to give us 100 gold if we kill the leader of the Red Brands, who's called the Glass Staff, who I think probably lives in a mansion down the road. And if we go kill him in 3 days, we get 100 gold. Woo!
Is that the same mansion that Silda was going to scope out? 'Cause I remember
Wait, he
him
was
saying that he
gonna-
was going to scope out a mansion.
I don't remember this.
Let me consult my
It was at least
So-
14
so,
sleeps
your
ago.
notes. If you think that Silda did say that, then remember that he said that he was going to the Townmasters Hall today.
Yeah.
So you will be able to check that
To ask
information.
him.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
So you're in the right place.
Yay!
Whilst this is going on, Calla is kind of peering forward. There's a sign outside the door, and you guys are talking, and she's kind of stepped to the side slightly because all noise is killing her head. And you can see she's got her nose almost pressed against this sign because she's seeing double. She's like this, trying to read it because she's still slightly. I don't know. She might still slightly be drunk. And it says, "Reward. Orcs near Wyvern Tor. Those of a mind to face the Orc menace should inquire within."
Guys, look at this sign. We could get more money. Ah!
And the notice board, and it's got the town seal on it, and a signature that's completely indecipherable. Looks like it could have been signed by a doctor. Who knows? And but yes, Orc Menace at Wyvern Tor. So yes.
Hello, are you sure you're alright? Because I see her with her face up next to it. Guys, look!
I am not okay.
See it?
I thought
Is there
Ring was a long
anything
distance.
I can do for her?
What would you like to do?
I have cure wounds, but I don't think drinking too much is a wound, really.
No.
It's
would
like a
It would be like it would be basically like a poison.
it's like a restoration spell. I think that works.
Yeah, you can do.
You can only have
you can do
5
restoration.
prepared.
If you had like a potion of like cure poison or something, you could probably do
Yeah.
something along the lines with that, because basically alcohol's a toxin, so it's among
It's fine. I'll just live with my consequences.
Yeah,
Where did you say the Orc Menace was at?
Wyvern Tor, inquire within. That's
How is
obviously
that spelled?
exactly the voice that this is actually written in, by the way. It's got like
It's a talking sign.
it's a talking sign.
So, what did you guys find out from the mining lady?
100 gold pieces in total, not a piece, for killing the Glassstaff leader of the Red Brand Ruffians and bringing back some information
Cool.
of any sort
Right.
in 3 days.
Oh, okay.
And something about a snake. I wasn't paying that much attention.
Cutting
So-
the head off the snake, referring to Glassstaff.
I hate the
Oh,
snakes.
Snakes don't have legs.
Why does it always have to be
okay.
snakes?
Yeah.
Oh,
love
no,
Rowan,
snakes. Why is it
Rowan
always
loves the
snakes?
snakes.
So,
I need to
We
wear my
chatted
Indiana narwhal for when you're doing snakes. I
Just have
think.
it pop its head into the side of the screen and disappear.
Oh, he's wearing it.
Oh!
Indiana Narwhal, you said?
Yeah, Indiana narwhal. There he is.
Like that?
What did y'all find out?
so
what
we
all
met a
happened
priestess
after-
lady at the shrine. Sorry, my push to speak. We met a priestess lady at the shrine who her face was all gnarled up, so I healed her a little bit. And she said that she'd gone to this has something to do with the bandits. Don't worry, we're getting there. She had gone to visit a banshee called Agatha to swap a comb for a spell book, right? And then then banshee didn't turn up, and on the way back, she was accosted and beaten up by the Red Ruffians. And yeah, so she's given us a shiny comb that Aramil has, and if we're heading in the direction of Coneyberry, then we should probably help her out with that, because she's got 3 health potions with our names on it, which would be quite nice, particularly for some very drunk people.
Now, I'm not great at math, but couldn't we buy more than 3 health potions with 100 gold?
I don't think so.
I think they're pretty expensive.
They
Yeah.
were really expensive.
At the line trading post.
Well,
I'm
think
lucky
we
that
should
I found some.
try to take care of both issues.
Oh, I'd definitely like to help as many people as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we're
I
heading
think we
in
should-
that direction.
We should probably do the mana first, though, because we have to do that in 3 days.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we'll
didn't.
do that
She didn't
first.
give us any kind of time limit. She seems on the level.
Well, if you say that, I stand by her.
What was her name, by the way?
Oh.
She was Sister Girl. Girl,
Gurel.
sorry.
How do I spell that?
G-A-R-A-E-L-E.
G-A-R-A-E-L-E.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost.
It's not quite as... It's never quite as it's never quite as it's said. It wouldn't be D&D if it was easy to spell. Like, names that actually were like, if everyone was called Bob.
Yeah,
Bob.
I have...
Everyone's name is Bob.
Also, I
Barry
have
Blue
a
Jeans.
advantage role in spelling, like... I'm not really used to
Oh no, yeah.
English names.
I can't really say anything about that though, but y'all don't know about that
I'm
yet.
just going to call her Sister Pharrell.
Yeah, like sister calling, right?
Yeah.
Sister calling Farrell. Yeah.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Healing potions. I'm just double checking something. A healing potion costs 50 gold pieces.
Oh!
We could only buy 2.
Oh, I'm
And
just
you
letting
haven't
die.
actually found anywhere that sells healing potions yet.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that our ways can go like both. We can make both quests.
Yeah.
Maybe even
Do we have a
rather
map
at the
of
same
the-
time, because I'm not sure if the old manor, for example, like that Silda told us about, could be the same.
The manor
Yeah.
is, if you look at your...
The big building on the right.
Yeah, but it's quite in ruins, so I guess it's not the ruins of Carnival.
And I know that Coney Berry, she was travelling back via the Triborg Trail. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but
yeah.
Cody...
that's
Cody-
why I'm thinking maybe it could be the same place, or at least one be in the way of.
I think we should
Okay.
chat to Silda first about the manor, just in case he can give
If
us
he is in the town hall still.
Yes.
We shouldn't talk to him about this in front of the mayor as well, though.
No.
Because I have my suspicions that the mayor is actually part of the Red Brands, so...
Maybe not on
He
the
may
level.
be a dolt, but he also may be a scared dolt.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should try if Silda is in the town hall.
Yeah,
Hey,
do we
we
see
can-
him?
See if Silda's in there.
You're still
and-
you're still
We're
outside.
outside, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we go
We
in
need
the
to go
town hall.
in.
Hold on, wait.
Let's go in.
Before we
Oh.
go in. Before we go in.
Yeah.
We go in, we see if Silda's in there. If he's not, we can talk to the mayor about the orc menace and see if we might be able to do something about that.
To do a plan.
Good plan.
Back
Three
up
birds,
plan.
one stone.
Silda's not actually there. We have a reason actually to go in there.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
So you've spent some time sort of outside. Poor like Callus, kind of after she read the sign, she's actually looks like she's falling asleep on the sign, and like her nose is against the sign. She's like.
I'll just lead her inside with us. So just come on.
Yeah.
Urge the drunken
She
elf.
sort of- she stumbles inside and she's just kind of muttering. She's just like, never again.
I guess I ready my
Never.
feather fall if she
I'm
carries
just
on
gonna
like
say
this.
that when I see the orc menace sign, my face turns really gray, like in serious and in anger.
Ooh, okay.
Do
No,
I
like-
notice this?
Oh, I'm
Because-
Do insight.
Yeah,
Insight check him. Insight.
Can I notice this as well?
You noticed nothing.
Aww.
Nothing. You were
You
asleep
noticed
with
no
your
You're
face
asleep.
against the board.
No.
18.
I got 19.
Really,
They're 18.
let's just say I'm even more serious than usual.
There we go. So
That is serious.
there's
Really
there's,
serious.
There's obviously, yeah, that's really serious, and so obviously there must be a reason behind the reason why he has reacted so kind of viscerally to the word orcs. So and the fact that there's this orc menace. It seems like he looks very grim. He looks grim. So you walk inside, and Ash is kind of holding on,
Stumbles inside.
holding on to Calla, who just looks really sad. It's like, poor thing. But Ash is kind of looking after her.
Oh.
So you walk inside, and it's basically it's a wide open building. It's big. And as you walk through, just this like it's a big hall, basically a big hall, and at the front there's almost like a platform, and there's kind of tables and chairs and benches and that kind of thing around, and at the top is a chair, quite a sort of big chair, and a man sits on it. He is somewhat a rotund gentleman, human, doesn't look like he's probably seen very much in the way of adventure or exercise, middle-aged, looks like he enjoys the good things in life, and he's sort of he's sat there, and he's actually talking to Silda.
Oh. I guess.
Can I just see if I can hear what they're talking about?
Yeah, I'd like to roll maybe a perception check or something.
You, if you would like, neither of them have noticed you yet. If you would like to, you would have to roll. You'd have to roll stealth to see if you can very quietly very quietly move up. So anybody who would like to, anyone who would like to do that.
No need to, maybe Kala.
I'll take Kala.
Am I allowed? I want to, but am I allowed?
Right. So anyone who would like to,
Can all of us that mentioned do it, since we're all.
That's what I'm saying. So you would
19.
I only got 19. Kala, you can do it, but you have to do it at disadvantage.
I got a 3.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, so
I got the black dots of death.
okay, so you start to walk towards them, and Iona, who is normally very is quite a noisy individual.
I've got +5
Too
of stealth.
curious
How
to
do
be
you?
noisy.
Usually out of her mouth is kind of really,
Yeah.
it's kind of like she's kind of moving to the side slightly, and she's almost gliding. However, Ash and Kala, you are holding on to each other. Ash, you try to go one way. Kala, you try to go the other way, and then you end up kind of like tripping. You end up kind of like wrapping your feet around each other, and you both basically stumble and fall and kind of knock down to the ground. And at that point, the town master and Silda both kind of spin around and look at you.
I say,
Well,
"Oh, hi, Silda."
Rowan and I look at each other and with a big disappointing face, you know.
I get up and then I pick Kala up.
No, I'm still on the floor. I'm just dead on the floor. I'm just like,
I
no.
get up and I just kind of look at you and I'm just like,
no, yeah, that's that just happened, right?
Hi, Silda. You feeling all right today? Sorry for butting in. We'll give you a minute.
Silda looks forward at you at the same time as the town master looks at you, and he breaks out into a smile, and he sort of holds his hands out, and he goes, "My friends," says, "that was quite the entrance," and he looks down at the
Can I do a perception on if he wants a hug? Because he was holding his arms out, and I'm not sure.
You can, yes, you can do.
Does he want a hug?
Yep, you can.
Oh. I've rolled a natural 1.
he totally wants a hug.
You don't know whether he wants a hug or not.
You accept his wedding
I
proposal.
think maybe I should wait for him to make the first move.
I think that.
I'm not gonna have him, so
Yeah. So
it's no problem for me.
Pardon?
I'm not gonna hug him,
Nah.
so no
I kind
problem
of
for me.
just move Kala into a better position than just flopped on the floor. That way she can just lay there for now.
Yeah, you can lean Kala against a
pillar.
a pillar or something at the side, and just kind of like put her down. And Silda laughs, and he sees this happening, and he goes, She was definitely in her cups last night. I get the feeling that maybe she isn't accustomed to the amount she was putting away.
Oh, she put away lots.
Loud.
And he,
Her with her tiny frame matched with Rowan.
and he sort of looks and goes, that's a young drinker's problem. Give her a few years. I'm sure that she'll be able to keep up with this handsome gentleman. And
Well.
the town master just kind of goes, yes. We were talking. We were talking, Silda, and said this. And he almost sort of dismisses you slightly, and Silda sort of looks at him with a slightly sort of disappointed air, like he's having to be very patient with this gentleman, and he goes, these friends might be able to assist us in our problems. I was rescued by them. They're the only reason that I am here speaking to you today. And the townmaster sort of looks up at you and looks over at Calla and looks very.
I kind of just like glare at him, like I dare you to say something.
He looks very. And
I think I wave a little bit as well. That's what I do.
He goes.
Hi.
He goes, well. Says, Silda, I've known you for some time. I trust your. I trust that you know best. And he sort of speaks up, and he kind of he stands up, and he's quite a bit. He's shorter than Silda. It's quite a sort of rotund human, and he goes.
I mean round.
Did you read the sign outside?
We did.
We did.
We were actually wanting to inquire with you about that.
Said we've heard speak of some orcs over at the Tor, Wyvern Tor. They are apparently causing some trouble for people in the area. There is a gold reward if you can take care of that problem for us.
How much?
And he looks at you, and he sort of nods, and he goes, I respect somebody who has money as a focus. 100 gold pieces will be yours for taking care of that problem for us.
Now though,
We could buy 4
we know
health
nothing of
potions.
it.
100 gold. Buys many health potions. Explain how.
He can see that that Ash has said something, but he could just heard Calla just this loud like.
No, I didn't mean to say that. I said that was me.
We could buy 4 health potions. So what did you say?
We don't know the severity of this problem, and I would not like to agree to that sum before knowing more.
He nods and goes, I can understand that, and I can respect that. Maybe you could scope out the problem, go to the Tor, see what is there, and then come back if you're still in one piece, and we will negotiate a price.
So you don't know how many orcs there are?
I have not heard any much in the way of details. The few people that have made it back haven't made it back for long.
So, what sort of problems? So people have been visiting the Tor, not knowing that there are orcs. Orcs have smashed them up, and then they've come back to. What kind of problems are there? And how do you not know how many there are?
And he bristles at this, and he goes, "Who are you to question me.
I'd like to do an intimidate.
You can try.
I say, I am the person who you're asking to deal with this problem, and you don't even know what we're getting into. I roll.
I have offered you money to deal with this problem. I have not asked you. It is up to you whether you take on this problem or not.
You have no idea if the amount of money you have offered is a good amount for the actual problem. You could be underpaying us. And I rolled a 5, but I'd like to use my blessing to roll for an advantage. That's a 2. Okay, I'm gonna go with 5. 9, I guess.
Yep. He turns to Silda, and he goes, "Who are these people that you have brought? That you have said that are your friends? They seem," and he looks at you and says, "incredibly rude." Silda kind of looks down at him, and he goes, "Oh, I will speak with them. I will speak with them." And he, the Hamster goes, "Probably for the best." And he has a book, and he sort of looks at it, and Silda comes down, and he sort of walks towards you, and he just says, "Follow me," and he beckons you. Are you going to follow him?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like I'm going to get told off.
He leads you into...
I'm still in the corner.
I'll scoop up Calla and put her on my back, like Chewie C3PO style.
Okay, do a strength check for me, please.
Yeah.
Please don't drop her.
Natural 20.
With amazing
Turn
ease,
into a horse.
you just scoop Calla up and you put her on your back, and it's almost like there's no weight to her at all as you sort of carry her in. You carry her along the way towards.
Thanks, Ryan. You're such a good person, and I'm so mad. I don't mean to.
It's this gymnastic team we're slowly developing. We've got throws down, lifts down.
We can enter the Olympics by the end of this campaign.
You follow Silda through into an alcove, into a small side room, and he stops and he turns around and he looks at you, Iona, and he says, "It is prudent when you do not know somebody to hold your tongue."
I reply, "Look, I don't think that guy's on the level. I think he might have something to do with the bandits." And
he holds his hand up and he goes, "You may think that, but you should hold your tongue. You will never get information, and you will never find anything out if you speak out of turn. Learn from your mistakes. Do not speak out of turn again. If you wish to become a better adventurer, sometimes you must learn when to speak and when to stop."
I'd like to do an insight check to see if he knows more about the situation. Because, I feel like unless he has a very good reason to say, stop, that he wouldn't normally. But if he thinks that... Yeah, I just want to do an insight check to see if he's on the level.
Sure, go for it.
That's cocked. Oh.
Is this the D&D equivalent of a little child
5.
screaming "why" after being told off?
Yeah. You pretty much are kind of feeling a little bit berated.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
He looks at you all, and he sighs, and he goes, "We lost our druid." He lowers his voice and he goes, "I understand that you want to know things. I understand that you hunger for the truth. I understand. But there are some people in this world that you do not intimidate. There are some people that it is best to make them think that you are on their side. You are sometimes best to not speak out of turn, to toe the line. You will find much more information out by doing that than coming in all bows blazing.
Okay.
And he sort of nods and he goes, I have heard about the trouble at the Tor. I have heard about the orc trouble. I also do not know any more about it. These are rumours that we have heard, but the townmaster is responsible for the area. Therefore, that is why he is wanting to employ somebody to deal with this problem. It may only be one orc. It may be 10. I do not know. And neither does he. He just wants the problem sorted. He is not the bravest of men. He just wants to keep everybody in order. He is a pompous old fool, but he is also the law in these parts. So hold your tongue. And he kind of leans back slightly. And he sits down because there's a table and chairs in this sort of little alcove. You think it's probably used for meetings. And he sort of sits down and he goes, I have been doing a little bit of research myself. Did I tell you I was looking for a friend of mine?
Yes, you did.
I don't know.
He disappeared about 2 months ago when apparently he was investigating the manor on the hill and he disappeared. I was hoping that you would help me and you would investigate the manor for me. I have other things that I need to do. I need to find out more about Gundren. I need to find out more about the possibility of the Wave Echo Cave having been found. But if you could do this for me, it would be appreciated.
I say, if you're going to be travelling looking for Gundren, we've also heard rumours of the red bandit, the
Red man?
Red ruffians?
the
I don't
red
know.
brand
They were wearing
on the Triborg Trail. They attacked the priestess here, so be careful.
He nods and he goes, "Thank you for that information." And he leans over because you're all sat down, and he puts a hand on your shoulder, Iona, and he goes, "You may be young, but you will get there. You will get there."
Also, the stuff about Gundren's brothers, I'm not alive.
I beam with pride at the fact that he's not telling me off anymore.
He looks over at Kala and he goes, "You've heard that Gundren's brothers are dead."
No,
I said I'm dead because I feel dead. It's not really. I just wanted these guys to expand on it further because I don't really feel like doing it right now. I'm like a bit like, so.
And he's chuckling and he goes, "So you probably best to try and rest whilst we talk further."
Gundren's brother is, we're supposed to meet him here when y'all got here. And, Barthen told us that both of them had been gone for 10 days, and that was yesterday. They had not been back to resupply.
Hi, Jim!
He looks concerned and he goes, that is worrying. I wonder whether it has. I think everything is connected. The red brands, the disappearance of my friend, the goblins on the trail, maybe even the orcs. I think it's somehow everything is all connected. He goes, I worry that there is a sort of higher intelligence orchestrating everything that is going on in this area, and that it all comes back to the Wave Echo Cave. I need to speak to more people. I need to find more information out. If I do this, would you look for my friend?
Yes. What's your friend's name?
Iono.
Iorno.
Iono.
Iarno. He and Isilda sort of nods and he goes, he's a member of the Lord's Alliance like I am. He disappeared. I've also heard rumours that that's where the Red Brands might go. Go to the manor, and I worry that something may have happened to him. And he looks genuinely concerned about this.
We were planning on going there anyway, thanks to a deal we had struck with Hyela, Miss Thornton from the Miners' Exchange.
And he looks directly at you, Rowan, and he says, "Be wary of that one." Said I met her for the first time this morning. I get the feeling that what she asks for is not altruistic. It is not for the necessarily just for the betterment of the area. I think she has her own designs.
She might not be on the level.
Definitely.
I'd like to ask him about to tell him what we have found these 2 days, more or less, as we have already been talking to him, and ask him if he has discovered something additional during his research. Maybe he has heard something about whether maybe the ruins of Carniberry, I don't know if he could maybe have heard something that could help us.
He looks at you and he goes, Coneyberry. I know of Coneyberry. It was ransacked years ago. I think it was barbarians. It's a ruin off the Tribor Trail. There isn't really much to say about it. It's just a ruin. A ruined town.
And which direction would it be?
North. Up towards where we were attacked. It's not far. It's not far before that, off the trail.
I ask him, have you heard of a wizard called Bo Gentle and their spell book at all in your travels?
He shakes his head and he says, No, I haven't heard anything about that, and he sort of laughs and he says, magic isn't really my thing. I'm more, and he sort of holds his arm up like he's kind of like showing his guns, and
Gunner!
Yeah, and he's like,
Hey.
I'm much more of a fighter than a spellcaster. But if you found my friend, if you found Diano, I wouldn't. He might know.
Could I make maybe I don't know if it's probably not the time. I probably should have done it before, but maybe if he was known in the mage sphere, to know if I have heard something additional about him or not. That's
It's without even doing a check. I would say it's unlikely because he's just
Okay.
he's just another wizard.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. Maybe
Yeah.
if he was
If he
like
was somebody quite famous, or
a
anything.
famous
I think
or a
he's
powerful
he's just
wizard.
like you. He's just
Okay.
he's just another wizard.
Oh, if he is
Aw.
like me, he
Squishy.
probably
Poor
died
Aramil.
in the first hit.
He's
You're just another wizard, Aramil.
Bought the farm, went to live on the farm.
A squirrel threw a nut to him, and he killed him.
Yeah, that's it.
Definitely.
Like critical role.
So, what would you like to do?
Okay.
I'd personally like to check out the ruins of the manor before it gets dark, because that sounds a bit
And
creepy.
what time is it?
You've probably been talking to her. It's probably about 2:00 in the afternoon.
I definitely do, and looking at Carla, I'm like, I definitely do suggest a short rest at least for us to get our strengths back.
Well, we're all like out of character. We're all max HP. Is a short rest going to help?
A short rest is
How
also,
much?
a short rest is 4 hours.
Oh, okay. Oh, it'll be a bit dark by then.
It'll clear her condition, though, hopefully.
It'll be 6
Sorry, that was
o'clock
me.
though.
Yeah.
I'll just go back to the tavern and you guys can check it out. It's cool.
Oh,
Whatever.
no!
No!
Do not split the party.
Yeah, but if I go with you, I'm just gonna make it worse, and then we'll get found out or something, and then we'll have to fight everyone, and I'll be drunk while fighting people. So I'd rather not do that.
Well,
How about if we
I
just
think
go
there's
out
another
in
place maybe.
Calla, roll
for-
another Constitution check for me.
Bardic inspiration.
Do I have
But I
to?
want to inspire her.
Oh, guys, what if we were to check something out in town and go in the morning tomorrow to check out
Yeah, I was thinking that.
and not drink tonight?
I'm not sure
Oh.
if we can find something that maybe the woodworker's house that was killed with
The woodworker's house?
with his family by the apparently
I was
the
there.
Red Brand. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we can find something useful,
Freya, would you like to
and
just
and
quickly...
we probably wouldn't need Calla's help for that.
Would you...
At least she got to rest a little bit.
That's fine.
Iona, would you like to inspire Calla?
Yeah. Roll 13 plus.
Everyone loves a good song to try and make you stop yipping.
Why are you
I don't
why are you
know.
rolling?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a long week. I'm not getting the U count. I
Okay.
can't press push to talk and play. Besides, I don't think that volume and music is a good idea for a drunk person.
No.
I pat her on the head and I go, "It's all right. You'll be fine. You'll be okay. Just drink some water, pop a resolve, and you'll be yeah."
Okay, thank you.
Have some bacon.
That was not a great inspiration.
No.
Freya.
No.
Rowan in the background's just going, smelly rogue, what are they feeding you?
That would have been better.
Calla's looking very happy with her role.
My third natural one of the night. My
Oh!
third natural one.
Is that the critical roll dice?
I did one on the critical roll dice that was a 1, and 2 on this dice that have both been 1s.
Well, Wheaton must have told
Oh,
Wow,
my
okay, you really
God.
are. Yeah, you really are drunk. Yeah. You are not.
Tomorrow.
You are
You have
not.
rolled twice.
You are
Yeah.
not.
Just, I'm gonna go. You guys do you. I'm just gonna.
So, is that what you're
You
going
have
to do?
rolled twice, Calla.
Why is Calla rolling twice?
The inspiration.
No, so inspiration.
Oh.
Inspiration is just an adding a
Oh. Sorry,
adding
sorry.
a d6, but she rolled because she rolled a natural 1.
Okay,
The
sorry.
there's
I
no
was.
points.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah, there's no points.
Oh.
I'm afraid a natural 1 is pretty much a critical
Yeah.
fail. So
Sorry.
no,
yeah.
it's all part
Right.
of the. It's all part of it. So, what would you like to do then?
Would we like to check out the woodworker's house and maybe ask and know if anybody knows where he was killed at, and maybe investigate the house for any clues of any sort as to maybe his what happened to his family?
Yeah, I mean, we already know of a witness being not Toblerone's wife, Toblerone.
Maybe Iona could go with Kala and try to get some information.
We're splitting the
could try
party.
to
Calla was
investigate
just
the
going to
house.
be napping. Like, as far as we know, she's going to go back and sleep. But if we split the party, then...
I mean,
Aramil's suggesting you talk to the wife, though, who witnessed the murder.
exactly.
I guess
While Kala drink
I don't want to go to the
naps
mansion.
for.
It's
Oh.
fine. I'll just
I
go
think
back
we-
on my own. It's cool beans.
Should wait to go to the mansion until
I mean,
we're all able to
we're
go.
going to investigate the house. I don't think it's something we really need to the party to be together. I don't. Well, I mean, we can maybe find someone, but we shouldn't expect too much problem, I guess, in the house.
At this point, Silda stands up and he goes, "I'll leave you to your conversation. You do not need me here." And he goes back into the main hall.
I'll take Kala to the inn then and talk to.
As you walk outside, there were 4 people stood in front of you. They've got sort of a lot of dirt and sort of stubble. They're wearing really, really kind of rough looking, dirty red cloaks, and they've all got sort of a sword tucked on their side, and they've obviously been waiting for you. And their hands.
All of us. We're all walking out at the same time.
No, you're not all walking out at the same time at the moment. The only people who've said that they've left is Rowan holding on to Kala.
Well, shit.
So Rowan and Kala. Rowan walks outside first, with holding on to Kala.
I thought
that
that Iona was going with the talk to.
I want to
No,
go
because
to
she
the mansion.
wants to go to man.
Yeah, I was. You hadn't all. You'd kind of the only bit, because Rowan had just said, "I'm going to go to the inn with Cal. Like, I'm going to take Kala to the inn." So they've left. Those
Keep
two
the
have left.
gymnasts together.
Those 2 have left first. And you guys are still in the townmaster's hall. So you've walked outside, all looking. I'm just going to move that there.
Nope.
They look like that.
Are they? Does that? Oh wait, I can't see them. Oh, did you say we have all walked outside?
No, just.
Oh no. Okay.
No, just Ash and
Let me-
Ash holding on to Kala at the moment.
Let me tell. They speak with Italian accent.
Nice earrings.
It was the same.
Like, hey, Bambini.
Look, I was in a rush when I was trying to sort this out just before my nap, okay?
While I adore you, Aramil, they are clearly. Hey, what's going on here then? What are you walking around town asking questions?
Oh God, Gousers!
Run!
With them! It's only Rowan and Kala who are there. And there's 4 of them, and as you two kind of leave the hall, one of them sort of walks forward just a little bit and goes and spits at the ground near your feet, Rowan, and he goes, time for you to move on, strangers. So give us your stuff. Be on your way.
What did you just do to my friend? What? You coming at me? You coming at me? What you doing, mate? What you
I'll
doing?
place the angry ranger off my back.
Yeah.
I imagine she's over my shoulder going, "You're going to take that."
And they're not backing down. They're just, and they're looking at you, and they're looking at Calla, and they're like, "Yeah, you think you can take us? You think you can take us all on?"
Is there any chance that I maybe heard Calla's angry rant?
Do a perception check.
Am I doing one as well?
No, because you didn't.
Oh.
Just Dash.
Oh, I am the most unperceptive. Perception 3. Brain, stop at that. 7.
Yeah, no, you've not heard anything.
No.
You
Okay.
guys are still kind of
Talking.
discussing what you are all going to do. And so the red brands are kind of
They're red brands. Okay.
Well,
red cloaks
red
and they're
cloaks.
hoodlums.
Well, I didn't know like exactly
You've
how
been
red
calling
it needed
them
to
red
be.
brands
They're
the whole
hoodlums.
time. That's what you've been calling them the
could be
whole
some other
time with the red
dudes.
people with the red
It could be some
clothes.
really attractive orcs, for all I know. I mean, look at it.
Right. Anyway, back to the scene.
They look at you two and they go, "You're no match for us. Sling your rocks, get your stuff. In fact," and he looks at you, Rowan, and he was like, "That's a mighty fine axe that you've got there. You can leave that with us before you go."
Oh, that's a shame. We were having such a lovely conversation before you turned to that.
You know what? Maybe I will give you my sword. Maybe I'll just leave it in your heart. How about that? Or maybe I'll cut your head off with it. Do you want an arrow in the eye? Come at me, bro.
I love drunk
Come at me, bro.
She's that one yappy friend on a night out. Like,
Okay.
are they looking at me? Are they looking at me? No, Calla, they're not looking.
You are.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it.
I would like you to both of you to roll initiative, please.
Let's
hear-
go.
Did I hear the
You haven't heard anything yet.
Well, fuck.
No. 4 natural ones.
No.
Wow!
Oh dear.
You are never drinking again in this company.
Again.
I rolled an 19 minus 1, 18.
18.
I'm gonna kill something. It might be myself, but I'm gonna kill something.
Please don't shoot me in the back. Please don't shoot me in the back.
Right. I'm just writing this down. Okay. So, the guy who's in front of both of you and has been the one who's sort of taken charge of the situation rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
So he will be attacking first, and he is going to. I'm just going to write down. Hold on. Yellow. Sorry, red, blue. I've got to make sure that I've got. Because I'm doing all these different things. A 13 to hit Calla.
That does not hit.
Woo! So Calla, even though she is still utterly pissed, manages
She trips
to
and falls and dodges
yeah, I was
it.
going to say, kind of
Gonna
trips
say.
over herself a little bit, kind of stumbles, and actually he
You what, mate? You what?
Calla is drunk master.
He's moving around so much that he's just got no chance of hitting her. So having seen this guy lunge towards her, Rowan, it's now your turn. You've got 4 people in front of you. Who are you going to go for? What are you going to do?
Come on, Biddy.
Definitely this guy that just went for Calla.
Okay, go for it.
So I will attack first. That is a 9 to hit.
That does not hit.
But can I action surge to attack again, please?
Ooh.
You can action surge once, yes?
Yeah, this is my one action surge.
Do it.
That's a 19 altogether to hit.
Okay, that does hit. God, I miss music. I miss kind of like kind of some kind of background stuff.
Yes.
Let's put something on.
That is a... Oh, that's the wrong dice that I rolled. That's why it was... That is
Spooky. Very spooky.
a
I don't know what it is.
9 damage.
9 damage.
Nice.
Maths. Using fingers. Right, got it. Okay. The next person to swing is going to be the guy who's on the left behind the sort of leader who's been talking, and he's going to go for you, Rowan, and he's going to roll. He's rolled 15.
No, that misses.
Hey! So he goes forward. He goes to stab you with a short sword, but you use your axe and you parry the sword, and you sort of swipe it to the side.
Can I
Yes,
roll to see
go,
if
buddy.
I hear the metal against metal?
There is going
Can
to...
I?
I was to say...
Yeah.
Give
No.
it a minute.
Yeah.
At the same time, you've got another one who is going to go for Calla again. He's the one on the far right of the party, and that's going to be an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Ooh.
That is... 6 points of... No. 4 points of piercing damage. And he gets to roll again because he has a multi-attack. And that is a 15 to hit.
Just hits.
A ranger. No.
That is 7 points of piercing damage.
Jeez.
Some damage is being done to you. At this point, you guys don't need to, you can hear the slashing of metal. You can hear the
I
slashing
say,
of metal.
guys, I can hear the slashing of metal.
And you can run, and you run out. And you
Yeah.
run outside. Why have I...
Initiative?
Hold on. I'm sorry. I just need to try and make sure that I've got everything written down in the right places. But I keep on getting confused between Rowan and Ash.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's not your fault. But I'm getting myself confused. So,
Are you in bad shape now,
Well,
Carla?
there's a
Calla, how
quite
many
different.
points of damage have you
I
just
can see
taken
a slight
altogether?
difference.
Altogether 11.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
I have 7 hit
You're
points.
eight left. I've got.
Was the first one was 4 and the second one was 7?
So 11 you've taken, yeah.
So I have 7 hit points left.
No, because you've got 19.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
When I'm right, I'm right. Excellent. Okay. Yes.
DM is always right.
You guys can now run outside and you take in the what's going on. You can all roll initiative, but you won't be actually there to attack before the next round. So there's going to be
14.
Ooh, natural 20.
19.
okay. So
Do I have a small bonus action the moment I get outside? Like just to shout something?
okay. You can shout something.
I say, get inside, guys!
What?
Well, we're just outside the town hall, aren't we? So why not rush on in?
Calla, you are going to be able. It's your attack, but you're still running on disadvantage.
Are they really near me? Like close to me?
Pretty much, because one of them has just stabbed you, so he's right in front of you.
So if I was to do anything with my bow, it would be, well, it's going to be a disadvantage anyway.
It would be like double disadvantage.
Yeah, okay, so with...
Well, only one, there's a couple of them who are slightly further away from you.
Would those... They'd still get disadvantage as well, wouldn't they?
You're still rolling at disadvantage because you're drunk.
I'm not drunk, I'm just hungover.
Okay, sorry, I don't know.
Well, maybe you can... Oh, no. I'm not saying...
Okay, fine. With... I don't know what to do... Okay, with my... With my bow, I'm gonna try and shoot the guys who are... The one that's furthest away from me.
The one that's furthest away from you. Okay, so roll disadvantage.
That was a 6 plus 7, so 13.
Ooh, that just misses. Your vision hasn't quite focused yet, and as you knock an arrow, you send it and it whizzes past his ear. It's pretty darn close, but it does not actually hit him. But you can see the air ripples his hair as it goes past. It was pretty close. You're obviously sort of getting your swing back. If you'd like to just quickly roll another Constitution check for me, because this is
at disadvantage.
Nope, just a straight Constitution check. This is
Oh, you've been rolling them at disadvantage.
No.
15.
Oh!
The battle that is raging. The blood is surging through you, and it has sobered you up fairly quickly. You are no longer.
I'm so relieved.
You are no longer considered to be poisoned or rolling at disadvantage. You are now rolling perfectly normally. So, everyone, all of you now rush out, and the top is the main ruffian, and he is going to try and attack Rowan again, and he rolled an 11.
I'll just... Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Yeah. So that's below my AC, so...
Yeah, so that misses. So, again, he does exactly the same thing, and Rowan just kind of swings his axe down to knock it out of the way. Aramil, you're up next.
Yeah. How are they placed, more or less? How many are next to Gala?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is those are the ruffians.
Okay.
And then that's Kala.
Yeah.
Sorry about this. I just haven't had time.
No.
And that's
Rowan.
This one?
Yeah. And you guys are over here. So, Aramil.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost to the one that is next to Kala.
To the one that's right in front of her.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so go for it. Ray of Frost.
So it's it was range attack, or a range attack, spell range attack. So I have to roll attack, right?
I can't remember. It's only if it says. What does
It
say?
says make a range spell attack against the target.
Okay, so make so that's a dex.
Yeah.
So it's and then it's plus whatever your advantage is
Yeah,
for
I have
spellcasting.
+5.
Yep. So what is it?
It's 21.
Yep. That hits very well.
Okay, so it's 1d8. Let me check. It's this one. It's 7.
7 points of damage. as you you send this ray of frost towards, and it sort of whizzes past Kala, who sort of jumps back slightly because her sort of senses are all now heightened again. This ray of frost hits him directly in the chest, and you start to see this sort of kind of crackling of this kind of this frost kind of moving up his front, and he sort of jumps back slightly, and it sort of knocks him back slightly, which means that Kala, if you would like, you can take an attack of opportunity.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why wouldn't I?
So he's been knocked.
17.
That hits.
Ooh.
So because he's been knocked back slightly, you see.
That's 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. The guy is not looking. He's not looking very well at all, and he in this, because he's sort of far away from you now. You can see he backs up slightly. He backs up slowly, sort of to try and move away. I'm just going to sort this out because for some reason my all my arrows have disappeared. There we go. So he's sort of backed up slightly and is looking like he wasn't expecting this. He wasn't expecting this to be going down. Sorry. Iona, what did you roll?
14.
Okay, thank you. And what did you roll, Ash?
19.
Okay, so it is now Ash's go.
Okay. I'm gonna.
You're this you're the yellow one in the middle, by the way. Freya,
Okay.
You're the pink. Iona, you're the pink.
Cool.
Okay.
This is very professional.
Is 10 out of 10 the best. Boxes work just as well as anything else.
Absolutely.
So how far away from the back left one would I be?
I mean, we're not going to use the 5, 10, probably about 15 feet. He's probably about sort of 15, 20 feet away from you. They're all fairly kind of close by. You've kind of you've sort of run out of the building and you're all in sort of fairly close quarters. So yeah, he's about 15 feet away from you.
I'm gonna run up to the one that's in the back left and slice at him with my scimitar.
Back left, close scimitar. Go for it.
That's 11.
That does not hit, unfortunately, as you run up towards him. He is, he's been seeing what's been going on, and because you've had, because it's taken you, as you sort of ran towards him, you were sort of pulling out your scimitar. He was ready, and he gets his short sword, and he parries your attack. It is now going to actually be his turn. And he has rolled a 10.
It does not hit.
So he does exactly. So as doing that, he tries to pull his short sword back up, but you do one of those where you kind of like you twist it and you kind of push his short sword to the side at the same time. So you're kind of locked in this sort of tussle of metal, and you can hear and you can see the sparks flying off as you kind of like slide your blades both up one another. You're
Makes the shing sound.
Yeah, and it's making that kind of like swing, swing kind of sound. So that is going to next be, can we have Iona, please?
I am going to attempt to fire my crossbow at. How do I? Oops. That dude.
The main one. Yep, go for it.
Roll an 8. My attack is 8, 9, 10, 13.
That does not hit. So he manages to just kind of like move out of the way. He's obviously got sort of very, very good like sensory perception, and again it whistles past him. It is close, but
Can I use my healing word on Kala as my bonus action?
You can.
Yes, please.
What word would you like to shout over to her?
How exactly is she injured?
She is down.
Been stabbed.
She's been pierced, and she is now down to 8 hit points.
Oh, God. My brain isn't working very well with the puns today.
Can I offer one?
Yes, you may.
Don't be stabby. Get happy.
Yes,
Love it.
that. Don't be stabby. Get happy.
Brilliant.
And I rolled 4, 5, 6, 7. I heal 7 points of damage on.
Thank you.
7 points of damage.
Thank
You're
you
back
for the
up,
donation of pun.
You're back up to 15. Good punnage. Good punnage. So next up is going to be one of the the Red Brand. Oh, God's sake! This guy.
Gotcha.
Okay, and he's going to run up, and he's going to hold on. I'm just going to. Yep. He's going to run up, and he is going to.
Just one thing. Yes, he's the one that we attacked before, right? Because I don't know if this will matter now, but with Ray of Frost, the speed reduces by 10 feet. So I don't know if that would matter or not.
I thought it was.
It says as.
I thought you attacked the other guy, the one that's the smaller box.
He attacked this one.
Yeah. So
What does it say exactly?
It says on a hit it takes 1d8 cold damage and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn.
Okay, so yep, you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, what that means is the only person that he can try and attack again is Kala.
Glad I healed you.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, so the only person he can actually get to is Kala. So he's going to try and attack Kala.
Bring it, douche.
19.
Oh,
That hits.
Okay.
He brought it.
That is 5 points of piercing damage, and because it's multi-attack, he attacks again, and he only got a 7 that time.
That does not hit.
So the first attack hits, so he gets stabby with how many points? How many points did I say?
5.
5 points of damage. But the second attack does not manage to hit you, but he stays up in close combat with you. This guy here does manage to. He runs round and he goes to attack Iona. Oh no! My dice has gone on the floor. Ah! This does not happen on Critical Role. It went through a hole.
That's why
in
we're
the
natural
desk.
one.
This is why we need dice trays.
I've got a dice tray.
A hole in the desk?
but the dice didn't know.
19.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, that's above my armor class.
Okay, so that is 8 points of piercing damage, and he's going to go again. That is 18.
Yeah, that is above my armor class.
And that is
Oh shit.
7 points of damage.
I'm on 1 HP.
Oh.
You're still, but you're
Ash, you're the only one with healing spells, aren't you?
I have 1 spell slot left. I guess I could heal myself.
you can.
I
heal,
can do things too, though. It's all good.
You could always do. Remember, you've got. You can heal. You can heal yourself. Don't. That's fine. And,
Yeah.
and you have got a couple of healing potions, unless you left them back at the. Unless you left them back at the room. Not you.
I have all my
I don't.
stuff on.
Yeah, Ash has
I
got,
have a backpack.
Ash has got her backpack, so yeah. Okay, so the last person who's up, the last person who's up is I've just dropped my pencil. Is Kala.
The only healing spell I have at the moment, I actually have to touch you, so I'm a little far away.
That's all right by me. I'd rather not die.
I think you might have missed
I consent
me by
to you healing
accident.
me.
Yeah, I think you missed Rowan, Lise.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. Yeah,
It's
Rowan.
okay. My initiative was 18. If you want, put me
I'm
in
trying
the,
to.
in the list.
It's really hard when you're trying to add people in.
Yeah, don't worry. Can I smack the leader? Is that okay?
Of course you can.
That is a 20.
Okay, yes, that hits.
Yeah. That is 7 points of damage.
He is looking very, very wounded, but he is still up. He is still up. It's not. There's not a lot left, but he's still up.
We can do this, guys.
So, Kala, you're up.
I guess I'm gonna attack the guy in front of me
Okay.
with my short sword.
Okay.
That's a natural 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever you roll with the dice, you double, and then you add your modifier.
Okay. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 3 is 9.
How do you want to do this?
I want to kill him!
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she.
I'll stab him in his heart like I promised I would.
You stab here. You thrust forward with your sword, and you stab him straight through the heart. You can see he starts to gurgle, and the blood starts to sort of kind of dribble out of his mouth, and he looks quite shocked. He's still got the kind of the sort of like the injuries from the ray of frost that he took from Aramil, and he just looks down and he sees the sword sticking out of him, and he looks up at you as you take the sword out of him, and you just push him, and he just goes back, and he just drops down.
I give myself a high five.
The main guy is going to go now. That is he's going to be going for Rowan again because Rowan is attacking him, and he thinks that Rowan's probably like one of the sort of the leaders of the party because he's got something shiny. So that is 13 to hit.
Nope, that's battered out of the way again.
He has been so badly injured he can barely lift his short sword, and you just sort of knock it away without too much of a problem at all. And so next up is Aramil.
Okay, I'm gonna cast another ray of frost to the one who is next to Iona.
thank you.
This one, yeah, fine.
So it's 20 total.
Yep, that hits.
And 6 points of damage.
He goes like that, and he sort of staggers slightly, and exactly the same. That kind of he gets that kind of crackling frostiness on him, and almost like kind of like cold burns happening. But he's still up. So Ash, what would you like to do?
So the one by Iona is still up, right?
The one by Iona is still up. You have the one who's been in the back left over here is kind of fine. He's staying out the way, and this one by Iona is.
Wasn't I back by the top left one though? Because I ran up to him.
I didn't think you managed to hit him.
No, but I ran up to him.
Oh,
though.
you did.
So I'm
you're
over there by him.
There you are. You're right by him.
Okay.
I didn't move you. Oops. My bad.
That's alright. Whose turn is it after me? It's
I
Rowan.
think it's yeah.
Rowan. How far away am I from the one that is next to Iona?
20 feet. But you would have, but if you cast some, it would depend on.
The way, yeah.
Yeah, you have got line of sight. Rowan's not as big as that box is.
Yeah.
His personality is.
Your ego is.
Yeah. So what would you like to do?
Can I turn around and throw my dagger at him?
Yes, you can.
That would
Yeah,
be so
And-
badass if you hit. That'd be so cool.
go on,
Okay.
roll it.
18.
That hits. that hits.
Well, it's also +4, so
Yeah,
it
it very
hella
much
hits.
hits.
And then it is. Can I have the right plates, please? Thank you. Oh fuck! It's 1 plus 4 damage.
4 damage. He's still up, and he's sort of looking a little bit. He's sort of looking a bit sort of snarly, but he's still up. And
I guess I
still-
hit him in the shoulder or something.
Yeah, you kind of you didn't. It wasn't a death blow. You just kind of, but you have injured him, and he's like like that, and he kind of gets the dagger and he throws it on the. He kind of pulls it out and he throws it on the ground next to him. So next up is. Have we said Rowan? Rowan's next up.
Because I'm fully locked in combat with this leader guy, I'll just swing at him again. Is that okay?
So you're going to do what?
Because I'm very much locked in combat with
You are.
this the leader, so I'll swing at him again.
Good, fine.
That is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
And that is 14 damage.
Okay.
Holy shit.
How would you like to do this in some level of spectacular?
So before I do striking down, I'd go by aiming to insult my ranger and take her life. You have made your own forfeit, and then I'll just pull pride and slash it across his chest.
He takes as you slash it across his chest, it sort of, you can start to see you could see his rib
His knees are outy.
cage and all of the. I mean, and again in exactly the same way. He looks down and you can sort of almost you can hear him gasp. He was not expecting you guys to do so much damage, and he slumps to the ground.
Bonus action, high five Rowan.
Yeah!
There is some high-fiving going on.
Acrobatic drinking buddies, unite!
But it's like a slow-mo, like it pauses as you high five.
I just turn to you halfway through the slash and go, yeah.
This one in front of Ash sees what's happened to the sort of leader of the party, and he sort of shouts out and he just goes, "Enough! Enough! Don't pay me enough for this!" And he throws his short sword onto the ground and
Deals the ground 1d6 of damage.
I was waiting
is
for him to
ground.
What
run.
about the
Fast.
guy that's like right here in front of me?
The guy right in front of you is just like, "Eh, what?" But seeing his friend drop his sword, he also drops his sword. And this one starts to run.
Which one?
Which one,
The
sorry?
one that was the one in front of Ash.
Okay.
Can I use my reaction to try and hit him in the shoulder or something?
Yep, of course you can. Try it.
I thought you said the one in front of me. What?
The one in front of Ash dropped his sword and kind of like They don't pay me enough for this.
Yeah,
What about the
and
one in
he's-
front of
and
me?
He's trying to. And
He's
now
trying to run
but
away.
He's trying to run away. The one in front of you
So-
hasn't quite cottoned on to what's going on yet, Freya.
Okay.
That's 21 to hit.
Okay, yes, and as you you loose an arrow and it wings his shoulder and he drops down to a knee. What would you like to do? The
What? So it hit him, and it's
yeah, it's hit him and it's made him.
is he still running, or is it like?
No, but this is quick. He's dropped down to it's made him stumble.
Can I run up to him?
I was going to
you
say I would
can,
have
if
charged.
I want to know information.
Could you do an athletics?
I thought
check?
I was close to him.
You were closest, but he's running away. He's run away
Uh-huh.
from you. And it was Carla who was just like, I'm just going to quickly fire an arrow at him to just quickly stop him.
14.
But for an athletics check,
Yeah, 14 for athletics.
you get quite close, but he gets up and he starts running again. Would anyone like to do anything?
Could I have
Can I
tried
try?
to pin him down? Since I was close to him, could I go and have tried to pin him down while he was still down?
Yeah, you can run. If you can do an athletics check for me as well, please. Iona, are you doing something with this one next to you before he scarpers?
I'm trying to think of a way that I can kind of subdue him, because what I'm wanting to do, I want to take him to the town master and be like, "Oi, what's going on here?" Or at least try to get some
You need to
information
think
from
you
him.
need to think quickly, because otherwise he's. Going to
I
start
got a
running.
14.
You've run a 14.
I
You're exactly the same. You've managed to get quite close, but you've not quite managed to get him before he starts to run again.
I attempt to stab mine in the knee.
Okay.
What?
If you please roll a straight oh, I don't even know. Just
Sleight of hand?
roll an attack.
5 plus whatever my thing is. 5? 10.
He's not going anywhere. You stabbed him in his knee. He's dropped
Cool.
down. He's like, hey! What was that for? Look at surrender!
Look at this!
So he's down. The other guy is running away, but he's running away very slowly. So Kala and Iona.
Can I yell at him, stop or we'll kill your friend?
You can indeed.
Ooh, that's clever.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh.
Would you like to do
Hey.
Would you like to intimidate or persuade? In fact, you can choose.
How
would you like to
it's
do it?
gonna
Would
be
you
the
like...
same either way.
I mean, you're kind of threatening him, so
Well, it's gonna be only +1 either way, so
it's definitely an intimidation.
I have a 19, so it's a 20.
Oh yeah!
He
freezes.
he slows down, and he sees he turns, and he sees his friend drop, not knowing what's happened, not knowing that it's only a hit to the knee. He sees his friend drop, thinking that he's been been killed, and he just drops to his knees, sort of head down, hands up, like that.
Yeah.
Can I take my hempen rope that I have in my explorer's kit and tie his hands together?
You can indeed. So you don't need to do anything really with it. You can just sort of go up to him, cut some of it off. How much do you have in your explorer?
50 feet.
50 feet. If you could please just change that to 47 feet.
Okay.
You just cut off a good sizable length of rope, and you're just using it to sort of bind his hands behind him. As that's happening, Ash, you walk up behind him. Kala's walking up. Aramil is, and basically you're all kind of surrounding them. Because
Yeah, I was going to say, I would have grabbed the other one for Iona and stabbed in the knee, so he couldn't get away.
Yeah. So, Aramil and Rowan, you have flanked the guy who's on the ground, who's been stabbed in the knee by Iona. Kala and Ash, you've got the other one. So,
But
and they both got their hands up. They both got their hands up.
except for the one around us, because we have his hands tied.
Apart from him, yes. Go
But
on.
I kind of just yank him to his feet by using his arms against him and make him stand up on his own.
Okay. So you sort of pull him up, and he's kind of got his arms behind him, and he's sort of going, he's just going, and he's like kind of looking, because he's been hurting his shoulder, so having his arms pulled back is actually really painful as well. What would you guys like to do with them?
Maybe
I think we should ask them questions first, and then, depending on the answers, take them to the townmaster.
Maybe we could take them to the townmasters.
I want to ask them questions first. They might not be
get
as...
them to the lunch.
They
with
might not be happy to share in front of the townmaster.
No,
Is there an alleyway we can pull them down to ask them questions?
in the room we were.
Sorry?
Yeah, there are people around. The townmaster would know if you took.
Maybe we could take them to the room we were discussing before.
Yeah, but still, if that's what I'm saying, it's still actually in the town.
Yeah.
We take them down an alleyway.
We probably could have
you're
privacy
you're
there.
right in the middle of the.
Yeah.
You're right in the
Other
middle.
people-
You're currently right in the middle of the street. Nobody has got involved in this because they're scared to death of these guys. But there's, everyone's just kind of, there's basically like looking around. There's kind of, it looks like there's no one around, but you get the feeling that people are probably looking out the window.
Can I, knowing that we're out in the open, make my way over to the leader's body and very quickly have a look through there before anyone else turns up? Just because I'm aware if the townmaster turns up, he's going to want everything.
You can indeed. So, if you could do an investigation check for me, please.
Could
How many
I
legs has he
yell
got?
over to Rowan and ask him if he could also toss me the actually, I'll just call over to Iona since Rowan's busy. If you can toss me my dagger, just like toss it on the ground over here.
Yep, I attempt to do that. Do I do it?
Yeah, you do.
Cool, thanks.
Okay.
I didn't want to risk rolling that.
Even though you're seriously injured, you managed to do that.
I just needed it on the floor beside me. I didn't need it at me.
Good.
Like a slight bit of life on her.
She's got. Yeah, that's it.
And
Yeah,
then she's like, could you throw back?
It's
Could you
all
throw back my dagger?
That took 1 HP. It's like death throws from now on.
I don't care if you die, but
I'm
not gonna heal you. But
so what
my
did you
dagger,
get?
please.
What did you get for your investigation check?
I got an 18.
Okay, so as you rifle through, you can obviously see that they've not got a massive amount of armor on. They've got he's got this dirty sort of scarlet cloak that he wears, and he has a pouch, like a money pouch, on his belt. He's also got his the short sword that he was using, which is just a short sword. It's of no. It's not even very well made. It's it's sort of a bit rough and ready, and he's got this sort of pouch, and it is carrying 16 silver pieces and 7 gold pieces.
Okay.
And that's what he's got on him.
16 silver, 7 gold.
Yeah.
Can I search the one that I have and make sure he doesn't have anything on him, and also loot him?
Yeah. You can rifle through his pockets whilst he's down or up.
No jade frog. Just checking.
Yeah, Lord, what's he called?
Amphibious
So I have
Maximus.
to roll an investigation.
What did you? So roll an investigation for me, with advantage because his hands are behind his back and he can't do anything.
Well, that's nice because I got a 4 at first, but now I have a 17.
Okay, that's fine.
And that's a 17.
Yep. So you rifle through him, and he's basically, his pockets are full of like bits of twine, like a bit of
I got the dunce.
a bit of jerky, a couple of leaves. It's a little bit sort of gooey and sticky in there. It's not very pleasant at all. He's also wearing one of these cloaks, not a lot of armor, a bit of a shoddy short sword, and he doesn't have anything on him. You get the feeling that the kind of lackeys don't carry money on them, and maybe if they do get anything, they drink it away.
Okay, we should.
Kala,
We should pull them
You
to
told him
one
why?
side.
take them to the. Or not staying in the middle of the street. That's somewhere where we can
between a
question
couple
them.
of the houses, just somewhere that we can question them.
Well, I took the
I would
short sword as
I
well.
would maybe tell to try to get them into the town master and close, like,
I don't want to take them to the townmaster yet, really.
yeah, but
Just in case.
Like-
they're working for good.
trying to question them in privacy with
Yeah.
some privacy with the.
I want to question them in privacy first, and then, depending on their answers, maybe take them to the
What
townmaster.
about the woodmaster's house? No one's going to be there.
Well, his family might be.
His family's the one missing, remember?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Oh
But,
yeah, let's go there.
Kala,
Are they quite
can
close
you
by though?
hold this one while I heal Iona, though? Because
Yeah, right
Sure.
next to the street, right? Right to the other side of the street.
So very
More or
quick.
less.
So very quickly though, you're going to heal Iona, or with what?
yeah, I have cure wounds.
Okay, so
Okay, at the
I'm
moment.
assuming that I
So-
don't think. Do you have to roll for cure wounds?
I don't remember.
What does
And
it say? I don't have the information now. Right in front of me.
I don't either because my
I'm looking it up now.
paper.
I was going to say, if anyone's got D&D Beyond up and can
I'm-
just look at
I'm
cure
working on it.
wounds, that would be amazing because I
I
haven't
have
got
it.
it. I haven't got it up.
Let me.
I am so disorganised today. I was like,
just-
Got the book. I've got the book.
after
I've got the
after
book.
streaming
Looking at-
yesterday for charity, I was like, I'm so tired.
Okay, cure wounds. A creature you touch gains a number of hit points equal to 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. This spell has no effects on undead or.
Fine. So you walk up to her and you touch her, and
is
the kind of the sort of the spirit of the forest and the moon and all of the things that are natural in natural and good in the world sort of imbue her with sort of health. So, what's your spellcasting modifier?
It's wisdom, right? I'm pretty sure it's wisdom.
It's like, I've got Kala, hold on, I've got it here, there's Rowan, Ash. It is spellcasting wisdom.
Okay.
So it's 3, so it's D8 plus 3.
5.
So
5 hit points.
Iona, you're back up to 5 hit points.
Or it'd be 6, because she had 1, right?
Oh, you have 1, sorry, yeah, 6. Hey! So, I think at this. So, did you want to go and check out the woodwork, like to drag them towards the woodworkers?
Is that far away? Because if it's very far away, we'll
No,
attract a bit. Oh, good.
no.
Yeah.
It's like basically next.
Across the street.
It's kind of across the street from the town masters.
Yeah. Let's drag them there.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is, knowing that the woodworker, the wood carver was killed, and his family has gone missing. You know that the house is going to be abandoned. Could one of do any of you have any thieves' tools on you?
Checking.
No.
Nope.
Then would somebody? I mean, you have 2 options. You can either just sort of hide around the back, hide outside, or you can try to break the door in.
I'll try.
Could I try to go through the window and then open the door from the inside?
Oh, that's a better idea.
Yeah. I would like you to do an acrobatics check for me then, please.
Well, that's better than athletics, so I'll take it. It is 9, 10, 11.
11. Unfortunately, the windows are shuttered, and so there's no way in. You would either have to go around the back, or you have to either stay outside, or you have to try and break the door down.
Manning power, and I'll kick the door.
Okay, this is going to make some noise.
That's maybe
Someone
not
cough
destroy
very
your
loud.
property?
I don't risk coughing. I'm already not very high HP.
I have a crowbar. Could that work? I don't know.
I got a natural.
If you've got a crowbar, you can give it to Rowan. Rowan does a strength check with advantage.
What did you
I've
get?
just got a natural 20 on my first roll.
Oh,
Anyway.
holy shit! Okay.
But it's gonna make all the noise.
But it was a natural 20, which means that somehow, with as he doesn't slam his whole body into the door. He just basically kind of like centers himself, almost kind of like martial arts style, where he kind of like uses the power from within, and he just goes like that, and the door
Hadoukens the door.
Yeah, the
He
door-
intimidates the door
lock-
and it
lock-
opens.
The lock just kind of shifts and breaks, but there's barely any sound from it at all. And the door swings open, and inside it's just it hasn't been deserted for very long, but it's cold, and there was a fireplace, but the ashes are cold and so on. So it doesn't look like there's anybody in here. And so you go in and you take them in and you plonk them down, and that, I think, is where we shall finish it today, because
Nice.
because that way, because I know that
No, that's a good point.
I know that Flame needs to kind of to sort of sort herself out and to go. And I know that Shadow's going to be tired after long weeks, and long weeks at work and everything. I think you've done a massive amount of investigation. Iona nearly died, which is amazing because for once it wasn't Aramil. And so it was. You've basically found out a bunch of stuff that you need to decide and you're going to probably find out even more information. And it's like, what do you want to do?
No, it's a really good session. I'm sorry.
Thanks, guys.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Sorry, I've been such a
Right.
4 natural ones.
Oh,
That was
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Fantastic.
I apologise. It was
To-
fantastic.
That was
Remember not to
amazing.
drink next time.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna be like swimming in natural 20s from this point on, because
Don't jinx it.
you're
Don't jinx it.
Like the ratio of natural ones that you just got, I think it's gotta happen for you at some point, hasn't it?
I did get 1 natural 20, so
Good. I know. Actually, there's been some good natural 20s.
I rolled very well this session. I'm very
Yeah.
lucky.
But this is basically part 2 of the investigation of Fandolin is kind of, you're kind of getting to the point now where you can sort of think about where you're going to go, where you're going to take the adventure next.
it's exciting.
Okay.
Okay, I will see you all later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.